Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to Legendary Banner Predictions. I keep getting asked to do this and I wish that sun would screw off because it's right in my eyes. I really need to put these stupid blinds up, but I keep putting it off. So we're going to be blinded today while we do this video, but it's all good. I'm only like slightly allergic to the sun. If you can't tell, I'm kind of basically Casper. So first off, going into this prediction, I usually hit, I would say, about 70% on these. Some days I get a little more, over 70, some I'm a little under. I think last was a bit of a miss, but we tried our best. I also want to talk about some patterns that are very important. So far, nobody has really been repeated yet outside of last banner's Sigurd. So Sigurd really threw things off there, outside of the colorless pool, of course. And they've also been doing a female, female, male, male, female, female, male, male pattern as well. And you know, I think patterns are meant to be broken, so I don't like going by them, but it's just safest to assume that they're gonna hold true still. So as for what we're going to get for our legendary hero, we are pretty sure it's going to be a green. I think positive it's going to be a green. So we also think it's going to be a res-based unit, and it's going to be a fire-based blessing. So one thing I want to note here is if it's a fire-based blessing, it's going to share with Ephraim here. And if it's a res-based blessing as well, it's going to share with Gundra. So I think the chance of it being a horse are super, super slim. I also think the chance of it being a tome is also pretty slim. I'm noticing Reddit seems to be predicting Julia, which while it may fit perfectly, I don't see them doing two green tomes and an archer for green. So I feel like green is going to be a melee of some sort. I don't think they're going to do three range melee or three range legendary green units. Next up, as for weapon type, I do think it's going to be an axe, and I do think it's going to be an armored unit, is my hope anyway. I don't think it's going to be a tome. I don't think it's going to be a bow. I don't think it's going to be a breath. I don't think it's time for another breath yet, and I don't think green is where they want to put that breath. And that's about it. I don't think it's going to be anything but an axe. I'm fully confident that we're going to get an axe this time. As for who it will be, I guess we'll talk about it when we hit the green section, but there are a lot of options right now, and I'm really not sure who fits the best in accordance to their game, especially with Ryoma kind of shaking things up now. I think our list of people we could guess is now like super increased, so that's pretty difficult to really decide who's going to fit this res-based fire blessinged green unit. And from what I can see from people's detective work, nothing really fits perfectly outside of possibly Julia. So I guess we'll see. And if it is Julia, as a heads up, the sun is so annoying. Look at it, look at it. It's literally right in my eyes. Literally nothing, nowhere else but right in my eyes. Maybe if we move back a little bit here. There, it's on my nose. So if it is Julia, it does break the double female, double male, because it should be a male this month. So that's one pattern broken. And if it is Julia as well, that's a double tome. So it just doesn't seem right to me. I definitely don't think it's Julia like everybody else says. So let's get into some of the guessing here. So first off, I want to say I'm not one of the people who think it's going to be the typical overpowered banner that everybody thinks it's going to be. I think they're going to tone it down a little bit, but for guessing's sake, I'm going to be guessing the overpoweredness because it's the most likely and the most patterny. So we're going to start off with blue, and I do think it's time for something like female Morkan to come. She's the only holder of Blar's Serpent, so people really, really, really want more access to Blar's Serpent. She's super cute, and she's a tome. Two things that kind of make sense here. And I think she will encourage some people to go to blue just because she's such a rare unit at this point. But I definitely like the idea of her. We're also going to get the Gimme and Lephram. I at least have 1 out of 2 so far. Those are pretty good odds. And finally, for the third blue, I couldn't decide who to put here. I had a lot of options in my head trying to figure it out. I do think somebody like Nephany fits perfectly, and I do want to put somebody like Tana on there as well. But with Nephany, we just got Wrath Fodder, so people who were really hoping for Wrath Fodder already got their share. So I think it's safe to save that for another day. And we just got another Tana in the summer banner, so I think that pushes her back as well. And also, if I'm going to mix female Morgan and Tana together, that's 2 blue flyers, and I think that's too much. So I was looking through the options of people who haven't really been there. Azra fits. She's kind of something a lot of people just want. Azra is a fantastic unit still. Yes, she's not as good as other dancers, but holy crap, she's still good. She's still a dancer. She's still got sun. This is the worst idea. Recording this in the sun, but oh well. We'll fight through the pain. She fits perfectly, and I think it's a good chance we do get somebody like her because she's just a safe bet, and I think she's somebody a lot of people want to summon for. So as for green, the tough part is green, and this is what's gonna throw this banner in one of 2 directions. One direction is it's going to be bonkers, and the other is it's going to suck, and a lot of people are going to be disappointed. So as for seasonal units, Lissa just fits the bill here. There's only 3 winter left to put on this banner, I believe, and well, winter/New Year's to put on this banner, and I do think she's going to be one of them just because she fits so well here, and they need to get through these greens because there's a lot of overpowered green stuff coming up soon, and I think this is a really good time. Alternatively, we'll talk about what might happen to green if we don't get the following thing here too, and that is Myrrh. I think it's been a long time since we've gotten Myrrh as well. Myrrh is just such a sought-after unit, and I think they may just make green the best color we've ever seen at this point. Having Lissa, having Myrrh, and having a new legendary hero would just be so ridiculous, but I can see it happening if they really want to boost their sales for the summer, and I think it's something they might want to do. It's also important to note that this legendary banner is right after a summer banner, and what that means is nobody has orbs right now, so they may want to do something ridiculous and just make the banner so good that people want to spend their money to pull on this banner. Because to be honest, most people are broke after the summer banner, especially me. So I do think there's a very good chance these do happen on this banner, and there's a very good chance they want to drain our money, because again, all of these decisions are made with money in mind, and this definitely is one of the best ways to make them money. So as for the green legendary hero, I do think it's going to be an axe. As for what it could possibly be from there, there are so many options, and I'm almost like tempted to say Hector. I do really want a legendary green axe armored unit, and I think that's the perfect place to introduce a legendary armor is in the axe section, especially since the other 2 green units are both ranged. So I do think it's a good chance we get a legendary Hector here. It doesn't really fit. I think the fire fits, but I don't think the resistance fits. But it is what it is. Alternatively, we could see something like Harid. Harid could finally show up, and he could probably fit the protector thing. But being the eldest Nifel brother, or whatever you want to call him, and being a fire blessing just doesn't fit for me. But maybe he's got like a fiery build-up inside of him or something, and they can tie that into story-wise. That would make a lot of sense and also make for an entertaining storytelling. So Harid could be a possibility. There's also the possibility of Helbindi, and there's also the possibility of Searcher in this banner. And those are the ones I'm leaning towards, and alternatively, it could just be literally anybody at this point. It could be super duper anybody with Ryoma coming. It could be who could fit perfectly. I don't even know. It could be some random dude with an axe at this point that seems to be special. It could be Camilla. Can't believe I just said that, and I may or may not have hordes of people angry at me if it comes true. But it's a very good time to fit somebody like Camilla, and she's going to be a legendary hero sometime. I think she's just that popular. And it would work really hilariously. Anyway, that's my thoughts for green there. Let's move on to the next color, which is red. We've got another gimme here. That's at least 2 out of 11 we've got, or 12 we've got. So I am happy with that. He's coming back. He's such a great unit. He's insane fodder. He's one of the best units, actually. He's really solid. If you've ever taken a +10 out for a spin, you really know what I'm talking about. And I think red is the one I am nearly 100% confident in. and that is the double seasonals. They've got to do it somewhere, and I think they need to get through red. Katamatsu is just a wonderful weapon too. As a side note, I really think Katamatsu is a little underrated. At least I don't see it too much. It's a great supportive / defensive weapon, and I do love it, and it also looks amazing. So there is that. And then we have our girl Winter Tharja, and I think she's got to be on here as well. They don't want to put Winter Tharja with a new red, so it makes sense to put her with Ike, and also makes sense to put her with Camilla. This will be a fantastic color as well. You've got the Katamatsu, you've got Close Counter, you've got Vengeful Fighter, I think. Yeah, it's definitely Vengeful Fighter. You've got Red Tone Valor if you want that too. Super great color, and I do think if any of these colors are right, it's going to be red. So finally, let's go into colorless here, and colorless is kind of the other one I'm not entirely sold on here. I put Bonoka in here because it's been a while since she's been out, and I think she's popular enough they can put her in this quick on colorless, especially with a repeated colorless legendary unit to make people pull. I do think she's fantastic, and I think she's going to be here, but I'm not entirely sure. She is a good unit as always, and she's flies, and she's got a super sweet bird, so not much more you can say about her. And then we get into the tough part here, and this is the part that kind of worries me. We're into the LA banner at this point, and we have Roy in here, and we only have Roy because the other options are Lalina, which we'll talk about in a second. There is the option of Hector, which I don't think it will happen in a million years. There is the option of who else was on that banner again? LA Roy, and one more person I literally cannot remember. I actually had to go Google it because I literally couldn't remember. LA Lynn. I never use LA Lynn. I love her to death, but I got minus attack and I just never touch her for some reason. So between those options, it just seems like he's the most likely because colorless is hurting so much and really needs units to put there. Alternatively, we could finally see Mist. Although I do think if we're going to see Mist, it will be next month with a new colorless legendary unit. So people get Mist and a new legendary they want to pull for, and they're really angry. So I definitely see that as a possibility. And of course, we've got the stupid Robin in the back taking up all the space. She always makes these videos so difficult because her purple just takes over the screen. So yeah, this is my actual prediction here. And it's kind of concerning, you know, like this is a really good banner, and especially if we figure the green is going to be a green armored axe, this is going to be an insane banner. So I do think another thing can happen here, and I do think it's very possible we entirely skip Lissa here. Lissa's not in the picture, let's pretend she's gone, especially if this is a legendary armored axe unit, because I don't know if they want two armored axes in the same when one's introducing a new legendary. And then we can take something like LA Lalina right here instead and just move on into that banner and then switch off LA Roy for something else. Alternatively, we could switch off Azura here and put in LA Lynn to fill in that spot. But then we have two tomes, so that's kind of a problem as well. But overall, I think this is pretty close. If they do switch it up, I do think Myrrh might still stay there. But I think there's a really good chance either Myrrh or Lissa are gone for something else, because otherwise the banner is just too ridiculously bonkers. And it's okay. It is super okay to make a banner ridiculously awesome like Fjorm, Harden, Robin, but I don't think it's okay to make it that bonkers with a new legendary hero, because I think to them that's almost throwing away money because people are going to be pulling anyway. So anyways, let me know in the comments below what you think of my decisions here. Let me know if you think I'm wrong, and make sure you come back to this video and comment and tell me how many of these I got right. I'm guessing, let me count how many I'm guessing. I do think I am confident in Ephraim, that's 1. Pretty confident in Morgan, that's 2. I'm confident in Tharja, in Camilla, in Ike, that's 5. In LA Roy, that's 6. In Grima, that's 7. In Honoka, that's 8. In Lissa, I actually think if things go right, I'm gonna get like 10 of the 12 on this one, which is insane. That would be so awesome. That would be my highest prediction yet. But if things go wrong, I do think my backup prediction with LA Lalina instead of Winter Lissa would be pretty high up there too. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll see y'all later. Bye now.